Oh, well, hey, and welcome. This is the Daily Download. I'm Carmel, being and becoming.life. www.beingandbecoming.life is my website. Today, the energy feels a little quieter today. Yesterday was such a expansive energy. Here in New Zealand, yesterday was the 22nd of the 2nd, 2022. In America, we're now experiencing in the Northern Hemisphere that date. So it feels like the rush of that manifestive building energy has moved from the Southern Hemisphere, and it's up with you all up there now in the North. And I feel myself like in the swing back of the contraction. Like yesterday, the weather was incredible. Like Shakti was turning it on. The vibrancy of Mother Nature was profound. And today it's very still and quiet, but it's a little darker, a little heavier barometrically because there's not so much sun in the sky. The clouds are covering it up a bit. It's still nice and warm though. So it's just like that. It just shifts things a little bit depending on where the barometric pressure, right, is at. And so as I was just sort of tuning into what the download was before I pressed record, and I'm just sitting here going, what wants to come through? And the head I was getting was to pick a card. I don't know where we're going with this, but I'm going to pick a card. So, oh, that one dropped out. The Knight of Cups. So perhaps we're going to pick two. We'll use that as an anchor card. And we'll use another card to just sort of tune into what's going on within me, maybe within community, within the world. What's going on? What's going on? And you know, the tarot is something I do not see them as a great divining tool to predict the future with. I don't see that. I mean, the future is fluid, right? The future is not set in stone, and there's different timelines that are seeking to emerge at any time, and depending on who's showing up and who's doing their purification work and who's releasing the energy of the past, who's not buying into what's the past is, and who's building the structures of the future, and how quickly that all comes together. That all shifts the timelines that we're moving into. And so to be really, present for what's going on at this time, it takes a certain level of self-awareness, and that's where I feel like these cards have their most value. They'll pinpoint what's coming up as stumbling blocks, and they'll point to where your true north is. But they'll also show a snapshot of now of what's going on in the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the elemental nature of your being. What's in your line of now? What influences are affecting your line of now? And what is your capacity to know yourself spiritually, like through the wands, the suit of the wands. To know yourself intellectually, how your beliefs work, your memories, and how you're programmed on an intellectual level is through the suit of the swords, and how you navigate your emotional relationships and matters of the heart through the suit of the cups. And then how you bring all that together in the physical world through the suit of the pentacles, and how you really show up in this manifestive capacity here on planet Earth, embodied as consciousness in precious human form. These cards help navigate through the portals, if you like, of consciousness and the rungs of development that the greater macrocosmic world puts us through in this, school of Earth, if you like. So they really do approach things from massive different levels, through from, the major arcana will look at the developmental sort of path that we take, and the ways in which we're being challenged, and the hurdles that we have to really overcome in this life, or if we're actually in a place of just smooth sailing for now. Who really knows? It's like we get to visit that, and we get to have this mirror of self-reflection, going, well, that's where I'm at, And then on the minor arcana level, this is how I'm navigating that. This is what I'm doing. And it can really help pinpoint what's not working in your life and what you could do better and what have you. So let's just pick a card. I've got the Knight of Cups down here. We'll pick another one and see what comes up. Sometimes I just like to random that one. Okay. Oh, we've got the Knight of Swords. So we've got two personality cards, if you like, that are looking at the way in which we are showing up at this time. And it's very the movement energy, like the Knight of Swords in this deck especially is, there's, you know, this is Gemini energy of just duality, like all the different ways, and polarization. We could go this way, we could go that way, and what's actually going on. You know, what are the possibilities within what's actually going on? What are the timelines? This is dual timelines. This is dual thinking. This is mercurial, you know, how that metal just is so fluid. It's always changing. And it's like, I just want to kind of go like this, and we can tease out what's happening in our minds at this level. So it's really calling us to really look at how we're thinking at this time. We add the Knight of Cups in, and this is that nature of romance and of the romantic dating type of energy. So we're sort of flirting a little bit. When these two are together, we're flirting a little bit with different ways of thinking. We're flirting a little bit with whether that timeline's going to be a good idea or whether this timeline's going to be a good idea. And when we've got that sort of flirtatious energy, we're able to really feel into our playfulness, right? And we're not attached to something having to stick around. Like when the knights, they're not the stable, grounded quality of the king or the queen. You know, these guys are a phase of development that moves through, and we transcend and include them as we mature through the rungs of the personality development. So it's fun to play with the knight's energy, but there's no rootedness here. There are phases that pass through, and I guess what this is having us speak to a little bit in this particular download is, whereabouts in you are you thinking in two different ways? Like, this is so apt for us right now, isn't it? Like, oh my God, how polarized are we? You know, the divisiveness that's going on at this time is so reflected here. And this shows me that it's mostly in the mind. And when we drop down into the heart, this guy is all in the heart. So when we feel from the heart and we lead from the heart, this guy's quite impulsive and will step up. So what if we were playful with our choosing which timeline we're walking at this time? What if we just put our heart into it and lead through what feels good and right in the heart? How would our relating to each other shift and change if we just sort of let the thinking be transient as it is at this time, and let the heart lead the way, which is also transient at this level, into whatever's coming next, knowing that every phase we're in, this too shall pass. So what's going on at this time shall pass, you know? So let's just embrace it. Let's be present with it. And yeah, that's what this general message is. Just know that this too shall pass, whatever it is that you're dealing with. So if it's really, really great, enjoy it, embrace it, be grateful for it. And if it's really shitty and uncomfortable, thank God it's going to pass, right? I'm Carmel. You can go to www.beingandbecoming.life. I really enjoy sharing the tarot. I've been reading them for nearly 40 years. And I find that they're a great divination tool, a great self-awareness tool, not a great divination tool. Don't come to me wanting me to tell you the events of your future. The future's too fluid for that kind of carry on. But it can point to your true north, and it can point to the places that you might want to step up a little bit and shake yourself out. And we can look at the pathways through conscious conversation as to how you might do that. And the container that we'll build as we do that together will be fun and quirky and spontaneous and playful, and it will deal with all the shit that's going on and the massive deep-rooted transformations that we've been asked to make at this time using hypnotic techniques and subconscious practices that help just weed out the shit that doesn't need to be there anymore. We're in a new world, baby. Let's do it. Okay, that's me. Much love.